We back at it again. Yes, indeed.
We back at it again. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode Showout with the Wave.
Yes.
I am DJ Showout, you self-made hustler, representing the Bull City. And to my right, we got...
I am Tariq the Wave, the one and only Tariq the Wave, the number one person that is talking shit on your television right now. Yes, indeed. And it's good to be here, brother. Season 2. We here, brother.
We here.
Season 2.
I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Everything is off to a
We are now just, let me see. We're a couple of days into 2021. And it's still some bullshit happening.
It's major. It's been bullshit happening.
It's still some bullshit happening,
since
brother.
day one. We thought it was gonna be over in 2020.
Oh no, the devil said. Oh, y'all thought I was. The devil said he's Meek Mill. He said,
hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
I was finished.
Y'all thought I was done?
This is ridiculous, though. This is ridiculous. We're gonna get into everything, man.
Yes.
We're gonna get into everything, but furthermore, we got to get into before we get into just that. You know what we're gonna get into.
Right.
We gotta just talk about history. History was made. Was made. So Donald J. Trump, with his Cheeto-looking ass,
yes,
has been impeached for the second time.
Yes,
in his term.
The president of the Kaka Association has officially,
the only president.
Yes.
Cracker ass
officially out of
the cracker ass crackers.
Yes, the cracker ass cracker is gone. Cracker ass cracker, he's gone.
Well, he an orange ass cracker. That's one.
Well, the tangerine ass cracker is gone, my nigga.
Ass.
Yes, nigga. Wrinkle neck ass nigga. Yes, that nigga is gone, man.
But now, a lot of people are saying that, of course, the attack on Capitol was just the start of it. Was just
shit was fucked up. Shit was fucked up.
For those who, even if you were tuned in on that day,
you saw him last week. This nigga last week, that nigga was fired the fuck up. Last episode, that nigga, them crackers. Listen to all the members of the Crack Ass Cracker Association. They had this nigga fucked up, boy.
So listen, it's a documentary, 24 hours. The attack on Capitol.
Yeah, y'all need to watch that.
Watch that shit. It's on Hulu. Mm-hmm. It's on Hulu. Now, the only thing that I'm very uncomfortable with is the fact that the event happened on January 6th. The documentary came out January 11th.
Right.
They didn't give no fucking time.
None.
Now, I will say it is easy to get footage because of, you had news out there, people recording, people had all types of media out there.
Listen, all the members of the Kaka was out there recording. They was out there like televising this like this was a revolution. Like they was really out there like they was doing the Lord's work when literally they was really out here committing the biggest sin in American history. I think this shit is a bigger crime than the OJ trial, if you ask me. If you ask me, this is a bigger crime. Like, they went so far. Listen now. We all know OJ did it. Okay, that's nothing new. But we didn't see.
But the glove didn't fit.
You know what I'm saying? But these motherfuckers right here, they went a step further. They were really out here trying to say that Uncle Joe really cheated Donald Trump. And since the fact that they did that, they really went so far ahead as to storming the Capitol. And what makes it worse for me is, my thing is, after watching 24 hours, my thing is this. Where the fuck was the police?
Exactly.
Because if it was us,
exactly. So look,
niggas would have been at their funerals by now.
Not even when it was us. When we was doing peaceful, when we was doing peaceful protests.
Saw gas tanks.
During the summer.
Smoke.
Before any violence had occurred. Before anybody raised any sort of fist.
Right.
National Guard was sent out in advance. I'm talking about in advance. Before anything. Why? Because of what? They heard of what? Rioting and looting and all sorts of other shit. Right. So what they do? They went ahead and sent the motherfuckers out there.
Right.
Trump was tweeting since about mid-December.
Yeah.
January 6th, we'll be wild. We'll be crazy. Boom, boom, boom.
He literally plotted this whole thing. Like, he set this whole thing up.
And ain't nobody. And then you got to think about it. The day of, when they're all out there, when you watch the documentary, you don't see no police officer in sight. Matter of fact, you do. They're in the fucking crowd.
No, this is even worse. The people were really like, where the fuck was Trump at? And I'm like, are y'all fucking idiots? That's like me sending a group of people to go jump somebody, right? And everybody thinks I'm gonna answer my phone when I was the one that arranged the whole thing. But hell no, I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge.
But when you're the leader of the free nation and you're sending your own people to attack the Capitol, in which it represents your
administration,
your administration, you're sending people in to destroy, dismantle, and terrorize our own property.
Shit, dog.
And then that. You're not even going to answer. You're not even going to see the wrongness in that.
No, what makes it worse is you got the members of your association, you got the members of the KKK, they out there saying, hang your vice president.
Hell,
they said hang your vice president, bro, like a slave.
The vice president went against the own motherfucker. Matter of fact, the vice president was the one who had to call out the votes for the each states. He had to call out that Trump was the motherfucking loser.
And literally, what was so bad about it is those looters. The members of the KKK, they. For those of you who just tuned in, the KKK is Cracker Association. They're the ones that they was right at they was like one door away from where all of the people that were the representatives of each state were in voting whether to say if Donald Trump won or not. Like they was literally one door away.
Right. They was in that motherfucking building. But look, right? We can go on and on about this, all right? And we started off I don't want to give these motherfuckers no more. I don't want to give these motherfuckers no light, no more shine, no more recognition.
We's free.
Because you know what? This is black excellence. Here with here with the Juice Network, here with Showout with the Wave. We deal with black excellence, all right? So fuck all them cracker ass crackers.
Yes, fuck the caca.
We're gonna deal with black excellence, all right?
Because we are blessed, black, and highly favored.
We're gonna get to the true America.
Let's get it.
Of black people.
Let's get it.
And the accomplishments and achievements and all the shit that we have done to
make
this country better.
We're
gonna get into that. We're going to get into some interesting black news. At first, I know a lot of people on Twitter. Everybody's on Twitter. If you go to a HBCU, all your news come through Twitter. You don't go through anywhere else. When you was trying to find out what happened on campus, where'd you go?
I went to motherfucking Twitter.
You went to Twitter? There was nowhere else. Bro, there was no
group me, no group me, no kick, no nothing. I went to Twitter. Hashtag.
Twitter gave you all the answers to everything, right?
Twitter told you what was going to happen before CNN told you what was going to happen.
Exactly. So check this out. So you on Twitter now? All of a sudden, I'm seeing Spell House coming up on my timeline. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's about to boom. Maybe something good. Maybe something great.
But even before you saw Spell House, you saw the Juice Network, which you need to follow on Twitter right now at the Juice NC right now. That's what you need to do.
This is the Juice Network.
Follow the Juice Network right there.
The Juice Network.
Now, but going back to Spell House.
All right, so we're going to Spell. Everybody knows Spellman, Morehouse. They come together. They got their little thing going on. This, that, and the third. Now, it was brought to some attentions to people that there hasn't been a trademark set for Spell House.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, with that knowledge, somebody decided to take action.
Right.
And that person is, I can't think of his name, but he's over the Shop Legacy store that deals with the HBCU apparel, all the fire stuff. Definitely has great merch. I don't want this store in any way to hurt him.
I caught some stuff from him.
He's definitely dope person, man. So, but he was getting a lot of backlash because he
Tahir Murray. That's his name.
Tahir Murray, man.
Yes, Tahir Murray.
This Tahir Murray was being attacked on social media because he went out and tried to purchase the apparel rights.
Yeah.
For Spell House, being that he sold it on his site, sold out, went crazy. Notice there wasn't there one. I don't know. I can't speak for. I don't know what the action were, but long story short, we got to the point to where he submitted a request to buy the trademark Spell House with plans. This is what he said in his little in the thing he released, that the mission for his business was to bring HBCUs to the mainstream,
Right.
create custom and dope and creative apparel, and along with that, donate back to the schools in
Right.
which everybody's paying, buying this stuff from.
And his apparel has gotten a lot of
of
attention.
celebrity.
Like people in the NBA,
You know.
Nike, GQ have wore his stuff. If you watch the BET Hip Hop Awards, Carlos Millard and Chico Bean and DC, everybody on 857, they was wearing his apparel. Even DJ Envy from the Breakfast Club, who is a Hampton alumni, he has even worn some of his apparel on the Breakfast Club. So there are a lot of people who actually know about this guy and know about his apparel. I've copped some of his apparel. It's fly stuff.
It's definitely fire stuff. Hell, I like how he does some essential stuff, like Central stuff. Be some
That
like,
shit is
he be
I
doing
ain't gonna lie.
fire.
That shit is fire,
He be
yo.
doing
Like,
fire,
yeah,
for real.
good dude,
And but we say all that to say that I see both sides of the situation, right? I get
Okay.
where he's coming from because, of course, as history has shown, white people are gonna always find out what's the newest, hottest thing, right?
Exactly.
Newest, hottest thing. A lot of people say, well, it's been this long now, nobody white has bought it, this and the third. I'm like, well, that's because nobody's white is really invested into my boy. We had a conversation in the juice, man. Shout out to my boy Tony. He touched on a great point just about the white people aren't really invested into the HBCU
exactly.
lifestyle, community, or culture to really understand Spellhouse,
Exactly.
to really warrant them to purchase the trademark.
Exactly.
So that's why nobody has bought it, now. But that's not saying that they won't.
Mm-hmm.
So Murray,
Mm-hmm.
he foresaw that and said, you know what? Let me go ahead and buy this now. I'm a black. See, now what's tripping people up is he didn't go to Morehouse.
He went to Howard.
He went to Howard.
He's actually a senior at Howard right now.
And so he's senior at Howard
He's
right
a
now.
senior at Howard right now. He was actually in the he was in the HBCU competition with me.
Really?
Yes. He was-
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Actually, yeah.
So being that, so of course everybody has a conflict in that. Nobody Spellhouse is trying to get it right, but then everybody sees the flip side of it. I don't think the conversation was brought up to like the boards, like on the boards of the schools to say, hey, Spellhouse is trademark. This will be a dope and great collaboration to advance the university, build in some income, really expand the culture and this, that, and the third. So I feel as if had either the two or both been done differently, then the execution would have been just beautiful.
However, there are people. So this is the thing. I'm gonna put you like this. If you didn't go to an HBCU, you're really not gonna understand this conversation, because it's like going to an HBCU. You're very, very. It's a sensitive thing to talk about sometimes, especially when somebody is using your name. Like there's been history facts that have shown that there have been, certain schools or boards of education that have tried to flip the names of certain universities, you know what I'm saying? And when you got strong alumni that don't play that, you know what I'm saying, they don't play that, you know what I'm saying?
But it all relies on their alumni.
Exactly. So now, this is a situation where students are like, how can somebody from Howard take credit for Spellhouse? How can they take credit for Morehouse and Spelman, which are two HBCUs that are located in Atlanta?
At the same exact time, flip the script.
Right.
Everybody, I'm pretty sure there's about 10,000 designers, clothing people who do shit in Atlanta who attend either one of those schools.
Right.
So why not? They didn't think about it.
See, this is another thing. There's other people that are saying, why
trademark it?
Why trademark it? But not even why trademark it. Let's get to the real nitty gritty of it. There are really a lot of people that are saying that why is this man's prices on his clothes so high? Because a sweatshirt from him is like $80, damn near. Hold on, wait.
So you buy a Gucci belt for $3,000, but can't buy a quality HBCU apparel for $80?
See, this is the thing. People were saying like, okay, why would I pay $80-something for this apparel, right?
Well, you could just go to the store, your mom and pop.
Exactly.
Get the same
or
shit.
then it's like people saying, okay, somebody said, okay, well, one, I could understand if the thing is $80 and he's giving back to these schools.
Right.
But, you know, coming from HBCUs, sometimes we get into the conversation of, well, we giving the money, where the money going?
Right. So with that though, I don't think people really understand what trademarking
They
means.
don't. They don't really understand the business mindset.
Trademarking and copywriting are
Two different things.
Trademarking and copywriting are two different things. Right? Okay? You got to understand. Copyright is the one you need to worry about. When somebody has copyright over it, then you can literally get sued for using Spell House without nobody's approval.
Right.
Trademarking means anybody can use it. You will just have to pay a certain fee what goes to the trademark owner, and then from there the trademark owner does what it is. But let alone it's not as harsh as a copyright. Copyright can you know what I'm saying? There's some harsh trademarks, but copyright pretty much seals the deal across the board to where nobody legally can't use it. Trademarking means you can use it no matter what, as long as the money comes back to whoever has that trademark.
Okay, so one time for the niggas that be sitting in the back of the classroom that be falling asleep. Say what the difference is between these two things. One last time for the niggas who be sleeping in the classrooms in the back.
Listen, copywriting is the more harsh legal side of owning a product, term, phrase, anything. So meaning that if I own this shit, right?
Matter of fact, if he tries to take it,
prime example,
I can sue the fuck out of him.
Prime example,
because you fuck with my shit.
Prime example, Nike, the check, I believe, is copyrighted. Let me get that right.
Just do it. Nike.
No,
yes.
So Nike is actually, for example, Nike swoosh symbol, the phrase "just do it" and the name Nike are trademarked. Okay, so matter of fact, let's pull it up right here. So matter of fact, when we give you this information, you ain't saying,
we just be talking shit.
We talking shit.
In front of the classroom.
You know what I'm saying? We give you education.
Right.
You give an education. So according to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, a trademark is a brand name. A trademark includes any word, name, symbol, and or device that identifies and distinguish the source of goods and service of one party from those of others. So Spell House means it's trademark as far as if another Spellman Morehouse combination were to come together and they got it trademarked, they can't use it. Period.
At all. You can't use it.
With trademark,
and if you try to use it, you go into the court.
You go into the court.
Right.
Like I said, trademarking and copywriting are one and the same, but copywriting are the ones that's the more strict ones to where you can't even have that shit pop up for a second.
Right.
Matter of fact, copyrights are the ones that get you fucked up, like when you recording something.
Right.
And you got, matter of fact, like with this Apple like shit, like technically the Apple logo, we should be blocking that shit out. Technically.
Right.
Because that's a copyright or trademarked logo. And we would have to pay them to have it or have some other shit, and you displaying that shit, nigga. Like,
my bad,
as
nigga.
I'm telling you,
I'm telling
you, we can't.
I was trying to let niggas know. Listen. You know, sometimes niggas be smoking. They be smoking weed, watching our shit. They don't be getting it. That's why we trying to tell niggas like, yo.
But then you gonna pull it up. I'm telling you, we ain't supposed to do it.
My bad. You know niggas be smoking, watching our shit. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to let niggas know.
So copyright protects the original expression of the ideas, such as screenplay, stories, songs, sculpture, painting, or architectural plans. So if I created, so bam. Matter of fact, I apologize. Let me go ahead and say it to you like this. Copyright deals with a much more physical attribute.
Okay. All right.
Copywriting deals with a more physical attribute.
Right.
i.e. the MacBook.
Right.
The concept of the MacBook is copyrighted.
Right.
The iPhone's copyrighted.
Right.
The Apple logo is trademark. So, being that you could make a replica of an Apple computer.
Right.
But you just can't use the Apple logo.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, it's like it's a fucked up shit. You gotta really understand. But copywriting is the one that is the much more one.
So let me ask you this.
One.
So let me ask you this, right? We seen the tweets. We seen both sides of the arguments. Where are you with the situation? Because this is how I feel. Me personally, I feel like, okay, there's a certain way how he could have went about it. However, this is a black man coming from a black school that is representing black schools with his black-owned brand. Everything he's doing is in the best interest of black people. I don't understand why niggas get in an uproar when one of our own try to do something for us.
Because we naturally do that.
And this is exactly why niggas run out of the culture and go to somebody else and help them out. Because when we try to help our own sometimes, this is the certain shit that happens.
Now,
because then niggas will get mad at this nigga and be like, you know what? I'm not making no more HBCU apparel for nobody no more. I'm just going to do it for all colleges.
Yeah. And motherfuckers are going to flip the script. Now, we're gonna flip the script. We're gonna take it to his school. We're gonna take it to Howard.
Right.
Howard got into some shit to where they're hiring somebody.
Child.
They're bringing somebody outside of the culture.
Let's talk about the culture, please.
They're bringing somebody outside of the culture to report and document the culture of Howard University, but the person isn't black.
Let's read about that right quick.
It's the her name is really Rin Yu.
Now let's stop right there. Stop right there.
I'm not even trying to. That's
Rin Yu. What
amazing.
kind of nationality does that sound like, ladies and gentlemen?
We give you 5 seconds.
We give you 5 seconds.
You done? You guessed it?
You're correct. That's right. It's Asian. That's right. Yes, it is, ladies
That's
and gentlemen. It is an Asian woman at an HBCU. Yes,
now,
it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, understand, we're about to give you the scoop. All right? We're about to give you the exclusive. It's not exclusive. I'm just fucking with you. Howard University names Rin Yu editor-in-chief. Now, editor-in-chief, right? She's motherfucking in charge over there, right? I'm just going to read the first paragraph, and that's it. Howard University has named Rin Yu as editor-in-chief. Her responsibilities will include producing Howard Magazine and leading the university's storytelling efforts and strategy. Like, goddamn, I couldn't fucking talk. Strategy.
That coffee boy.
I know, right? Through other key channels. You will report to Vice President of Communications and Chief Communications Officer Frank Tramble in the Office of University Communications.
Now, let me give you a little insight about who Miss Rin Yu is. She is a journalist, a writer, an editor, and a digital media specialist with a diverse background in web, print, and broadcast journalism. So she pretty much the whole package.
Yeah, so she is definitely qualified, overly qualified for the position, if I might add, but just not at Howard.
But this thing, she's worked at the Washingtonian, the National Association of Home Building, Hanley Wood Business Media, now Zonda, and WHDH TV in Boston. So this woman is pretty much overqualified for a position like this. But so some people might ask, okay, well, if she got all these credentials, what the hell is she doing working at Howard?
Howard hired her.
Howard, you're right.
Howard hired her. That's what the fuck happened.
What the hell is the Office of Communications doing Howard hiring Rin?
You got to look at it like this. The same shit. But I mean, you saying shit like that is the same shit we saying about even taking it a step further into the entertainment issue with BET. Like, they are being owned by whites, and they're telling stories of black people.
Right.
So it's like, it's so fucked up to where we as people of color try to get in these positions of power. Those are the positions that matter. You got to understand, right? We got to fight to get in those positions. And
you got to fight to get a seat at the table.
We got to get to the table. And if we can't get to the table, fuck it, create our own table and force them niggas to join our table.
Now, this is the thing. So there's been a big uproar because this woman is pretty much writing the story of Howard University. She's pretty much she's in charge of telling Howard's, pretty much their culture, them being at a HBCU. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what is HBCU? An historical black college university. So this thing you got to ask yourself, right? This is what a lot of people are saying. This has been the topic of conversation for years, ever since I was going to an HBCU. If I go to an HBCU, what does somebody outside of my race look like writing my story? Because you have people, I'm going to give you an example. My senior year, right? I kid you not. I was taking this African American art, culture, history class, right? And of course, when you go to a classroom, the main thing you got to worry about is buy what? A textbook. You got to buy a textbook for the class. You got to know how much textbooks cost, right?
Right.
This woman was an old white lady. Not trying to be racial, not trying to stir the part, but you know what I'm saying? I'm going to just throw a grain of salt in there because my thing is this. Fuck salt. I'm going to throw some pepper in that shit. How is a white woman telling me about African culture, African American history?
Because
how are you telling me about my history?
Because you want to know why?
Talk to me.
You want to know why, bro?
Talk to me.
And I'm not
brother.
even and I know motherfuckers is gonna look at me sideways in the head when I say this, but listen to me when I say this. They take pride in the history. So what I say by that is like this.
Whoa,
listen,
what?
listen to what I'm saying. Listen to me clearly. When you go to any African American studies class, group, or whatever, and it's run by a white man.
Old one
at that. This nigga will, and I'm not saying this like I condone it, but I'm telling you why they do it.
Okay.
They put so much. They feel bad amongst themselves to all the shit that has happened in history. To where, listen to me, I'm trying to tell you, to where they feel as if telling that side of history would do justice.
Right.
I've actually been in a group, John Hope Franklin's Young Scholars. It was a group built around John Hope Franklin and his work that he did in Durham at Duke and just in the community.
Right.
Ran by a white man.
Right.
That white man did so much innovative shit as far as how he brought upon the my nigga. He took us through the Great Migration. Like as far as we went to New York, we rode a bus to DC, and like we got on the train and this nigga made it feel like we was coming from the south to the north to travel. Right, we went to this like
whoa.
They get so deep into it that you be like, why don't you see more of us doing that?
Yeah, you made it seem like they took a bunch of Negroes from the South and took them up north
Exactly.
to the good life. That's how you made it seem.
No, I ain't saying no good life shit. But what I'm saying, and now I'm not saying that there isn't no people doing this. Now, when we got to New York, there's this dude who gave us the tour of Brooklyn. My man's had an iPad with a speaker built. He put a speaker in his backpack played the music of the Renaissance era as we walked through Brooklyn. So let me tell you, that was dope as fuck. And the white man put this shit together. But it was the black dude that I was focusing on, the black dude, because he was innovative. I'm like, bro, he got the iPad with the music, he telling the story, and it was history behind that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because when you get to be hands-on with the history, like, it's like, fuck the textbook, fuck out. When you get to be hands-on, and I'm not saying going out to the field picking cotton and shit like that. All the teachers that did that shit, when all them kids, y'all fucked up for that.
Yeah.
No,
real shit. That shit happened to me one time.
I went to a plantation. I remember that shit. I went to a plantation.
I was out there doing fucking snow angels in the garden and
my
shit.
teacher took us to a plantation. I'll never forget it. I swear, because I was like, this is really... Why are we here? Like, why are we here? But
what made it worse was the motherfuckers did this is what they told us. They said, oh, y'all can take it home and you can make your own stuff.
You can make your own stuff.
I said, you racist. See them Kaka niggas, boy. I'm telling you, them Kaka niggas so crazy.
I say all that to say is that, no, I don't appreciate white people telling our story. I don't think that that's right. Because I know that they'll be damn well mad as hell. We came in this motherfucker and be like, yeah, Christopher Columbus was black. Like,
oh shit!
You know what I'm saying? We came in this motherfucker and said that.
But see, that's the thing. It's like this. It's like, bro, it's not right if I told an Asian story, it's not gonna sound right because I'm not a part of that culture.
Right.
It's not gonna sound right if I tell an Arab story because I'm not a part of that culture. It's not gonna sound right if I tell a West Indian man's story because I'm not a part of the culture.
But you want to know what's so fucking ironic, dude?
What's
Want to
up?
know what's so ironic? Especially now, like with the neo-Nazi shit that happened earlier in on Trump's term, and the shit that happened on Capitol made me realize something.
What's up?
White people are honestly the most disillusional race, and I believe it's because you got to think about it. They're the only race that don't get sun. Every other race has some sort of tan, some sort of complexion to them, whether it be Asian, Jamaican, Australian, Hawaiian, black, all types of that. But when you go up there to the Europe, into the fucking north, where it snows for 10 months
The Slavic babies
of the year, they get no sun,
none.
and their skin is pale and white.
Pale. Like
And
a
so-
pale like a potato.
And it made me and it made me realize something though. No, for real. It made me realize something, bro. Like, they really are the minority, and that's why they want to use. That's why they have that white supremacy. They put themselves above everybody because they know they at the bottom.
Damn, they like French fries, but they don't taste good until you put the barbecue sauce on it.
Boy, if you don't.
No, hell no.
Ooh.
No, first of all,
y'all
no,
get it?
No.
Never mind. Fuck
No.
it. Scratch. Kick. Edit
No,
it out. Fuck it.
that was a terrible.
Edit it
In
out.
that. You
Fuck
know
it.
what?
Edit it
On
out.
that note, we're gonna take a break because I don't
No,
know.
edit that
He
out.
need to get some water.
No, you and me when I was
He needs some
What I was
milk.
trying to say.
No, listen, no, look. We're gonna take a break, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna come right back. Don't go anywhere. We got a
Here's-
few words from our sponsors,
Yes,
ladies
few
and
words from my
gentlemen.
sponsors.
Stay tuned.
CK Sounds is an entertainment firm specializing in social and intimate events. We also offer rental services of professional audio, lighting, and DJ booth equipment that's available for personal or corporate use. Our ideal customers are newlyweds and wedding planners looking for an entertainment firm, allowing them to fully customize their events. Sounds like what you need for your next event? Look no further. CK Sounds is exactly what you need. For business inquiries, email us at DJCK, that's DJCEEKAY at yahoo.com, or call us at 252-594-1058. That's 252-594-1058. Point of Contact Consulting is the #1 choice of ServSafe food safety training in the Southeast. Our food manager certification classes are taught using the industry's leading food safety certification program. The training emphasizes the importance of proper sanitation, cross-contamination prevention, foodborne illness prevention, and much, much more. To schedule your training today, call 919-357-4758 or visit POCCFoodSafety.com.
Yeah.
Shout
Shout out to my boy Zaki on the track.
What's
right
up?
Local artists, local music. That's what we do. Juice Network, your #1 source for urban entertainment. Follow us at the Juice NC. Juice Network on all platforms, man. Subscribe to us on YouTube, man.
Yes.
We're everywhere. We're doing it big.
Yes.
Catch us Tuesdays for Talking Out with Showout
Yes.
with me. Catch us on Saturdays, Showout with the Wave.
Yes.
And we have more stuff in tune.
We got more stuff
Get
coming, man.
Get
We got
ready.
more
Now,
stuff coming,
all right,
man.
before we left y'all, for those of you who are just tuning in with us, Tariq over here was just on the verge of losing his last mind.
Okay, now I recollected it. So what I was gonna say is, with this situation, it's like this. It's like you got a book, right? And you got white pages, but it's nothing without black words. That's better. Thank you very much.
Now it can be on there with white words.
It's not gonna hit the same.
But you know, it is now. It's just an interesting thing. Like I don't believe that's like me being black and I own a Japanese store, like and I you know I sell Japanese food. Like you see what I'm saying though? Like what sense does that make? Like why are you selling? And you know what I'm saying? Because they're like, this nigga ain't even cooking. This nigga don't know what he. You see what I'm saying? I ain't got no chopsticks in there. I got straight forks.
Right.
I ain't got no egg rolls.
Right.
I got banana.
And they coming in, and they coming in, and they coming in, and they coming in.
I'm selling Japanese.
And they
food,
coming in, they looking
greens,
at you like you confused.
collard
You
greens
look at
and
them, you say, ni
cornbread.
hao ma, oh shit, ying. Like you look
It's
at
not
them,
even-
say that shit. They
I don't
like,
even-
what the fuck?
No, I don't even say ni hao ma. I'll be like, what's good, man?
Yeah.
Say what's good. You want some
Shit,
Japanese?
I got them egg rolls for $1, baby. I got them egg rolls for
Nah, but
$1.
see, we've laughing, but it's just you see how absurd that is, though, right?
That's like
the same thing of what we're saying is
that's
like a
like you-
white man owning BET and
No,
winning BET.
I make it more relatable. That's like you go into a Jamaican restaurant and you see white people in there cooking the curry chicken.
No,
That's what it's like, dog.
these niggas can't even cook.
They can't even cook spaghetti right, shit.
No, hell no.
Right.
Speaking of spaghetti, I don't know why I just want some spaghetti now.
Hell
Maybe
no.
want some spaghetti.
My girl make a soup tonight.
Okay, hold on. Before we go any further,
We talking about HBCUs.
we talk about HBCUs, right?
Right.
We talk about HBCUs. I got to drop this little gem in there. We talked about spaghetti, and I don't know why. Can I do it real quick?
Go ahead, do
Can
it,
I
man.
just do it
Let's
real
talk
quick?
about it.
I just got to send a shout out to Big Juju.
Yes.
Just Taste
Yes.
Bakery and
Just
Cuisine.
Taste, yes.
You said spaghetti. I don't know why that just popped in my head. I don't know why she had dropped. You know, she be dropping them videos. They got the sex music on there, but
Yep.
that should be looking good though.
They do.
If y'all ain't fuck with her, y'all gotta fuck with her. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Metro Boomin fucking with her. Everybody fucking with her. 21 Savage fucking with her. She just cooked for the
Yep.
kids. She up there cooking for Luke Nasty.
Make it
she in
fo- make it-
Greensboro,
make your
Charlotte,
mouth
Durham,
wet like the water.
Raleigh.
Global,
I'm
not
trying to
local.
tell you,
Global.
She all over, man. Y'all got to tap in. Big Jew, Just Taste, Cuisine. and
HBCU product right there too.
HBCU product, NCCU Eagle.
Right,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
since we are talking about HBCUs,
HBCUs
let
is
me
what we talking
ask you
about.
this right now. We are on the topic of HBCUs. Now, this story we were just talking about, you know what I'm saying, about the Spell House situation. There's thousands of things that go great with HBCUs, but there's also hundreds of things that go wrong with HBCUs.
Now, and we understand that. We understand that.
We're talking to two products
Right.
of HBCU. This whole
Right.
network was built on the campus of a HBCU.
we understand.
It's the 5 o'clock hot track.
We understand that. No, my shit. It ain't as quick.
Kill the DJ!
It ain't as quick. It's all good. We have technical. This is what we do. We human. We human. We have messed
What
up.
Mike
We
Epps
do.
say? Players fuck up.
You
Players
know what
fuck
I'm
up.
saying? See, if we was a white network, he would have got fired, and he would have
Fired!
But you know, we all brothers. We good. You
Right,
know what
brother.
I'm saying? We brothers in all.
Yes.
the Juice
This
Network.
That's what we are,
The Juice
goddammit.
Network.
That's
But now
right.
back to it, HBCUs. So we understand that every school, everywhere isn't perfect. Nobody is perfect. Schools ain't perfect. Nothing is perfect, right?
Nothing.
Now, your experience at each university, good or bad or indifferent, is up to you as the
Right.
person.
Right.
Now,
Right.
we understand. I think this is just across the board.
Right.
We understand that financial aid is just a piece of shit.
Woo, God.
I don't know if financial aid is just a generic just position to just cross the board and they hire the same motherfucker. It's like the DMV. Why is everybody that work at the DMV slow as fuck? Why is it that
Bruh,
when you
nah,
go to the
fuck that.
DMV,
Fuck, nah.
everybody you can't go in and out of the
I
DMV.
feel like
that's
if-
the same with financial aid.
I
You go
feel
into
like if
financial
you-
aid, you got to deal with
If you
bullshit.
got a funky ass attitude, if you just know your life ain't shit, you need to go work at a financial aid office. Or you need to go work at a DMV in your local area. That's where you need to work.
And you know, we gotta do it. We gotta get out of that shit because you know we was having this conversation earlier about why is it that is normalized for the black school HBCUs to just be expected to have bad administration
Exactly.
or you know terrible financial aid.
Yeah.
And I don't believe we normalize that. I just believe that. You know how they say you prepare for the worst but hope for the best.
I mean, me personally, I think we have normalized it because it's like a lot of things in our culture. It's just like it's like black people get shot. It's like when you hear a gunshot in a black neighborhood. It's like you hearing the doorbell ring.
Right, but I mean that's across America though. But
Right.
you gotta look at it like this. You gotta look at it like this at the same time. When dealing with an HBCU, right? When dealing with an HBCU,
Your stress level will be high.
it's gonna be high. It's gonna be high. HBCUs, I don't care what
You
you
will
say.
get tested.
I don't care what you say.
Literally.
Argue with your mama. Argue with your daddy.
Or your grandma that went to the school.
HBCUs are gonna give you the most diversity for what to prepare for in a community.
Right.
Because not only do we attract black people, we attract other minorities as well. So we're going to get all of hell. We attract white people.
But see, that's the thing, though. People, if you look at history, though, this has been another conversation where when it comes to HBCUs, there are a lot of people who go to HBCUs that feel like other races should not be allowed into our universities. I'm going to tell you why. I'll give you a prime example. For one, if you go back to like the 1800s or the early 1900s, we were not allowed to go to certain predominantly white institutions, which is the reason why HBCUs were built upon. So there were a safe space for us to go. It's even like the Chitlin Circuit. If you think of like the Chitlin Circuit, right? There were times where black people could not go to certain white concerts. So what do? We had to build our own concerts for us to enjoy, for us to kind of pretty much get our own experience. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at that, right, it's like you got people who say, like even with this situation with Rin, right? Why do you have minorities working at HBCUs, at historical black colleges? Why do you have people working in certain black, neighborhoods, black communities? Why do you have certain races owning black networks? You know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot. I think for me personally, we have to get into a mindset of we need to take control of our own. We need to take back our own reparations.
And we got to stop asking why and start asking how.
Right.
Like, stop asking why they give, Rin the position. Ask yourself how we're going to put somebody, or how are you going to get into that position, or how we're going to put somebody in that position.
Right.
Because now, we all know that the system is systematically set up for us to fail.
Yes,
we know
is.
that.
Right.
But that's not an excuse.
It's not.
That's not an excuse. If a man with no legs can do the 100-meter dash,
that part,
anything is possible.
So let me ask you this: what is your biggest issues when it comes to HBCUs? And then I want you to tell me what is your best thing that you love about HBCUs? Because we can go all day about talking about what HBCUs need, how great they are. We can talk about the homecomings, but we got to get to sometimes the root of the real issue.
The one thing that I love about HBCUs is the family, right? You really get a sense of family, and you feel that more so during homecoming. But with both semesters, all your years there, you all experience things that I believe you're just not going to experience nowhere else off an HBCU campus.
Right.
And when you bond and mix and mingle with these people, you know what I'm saying? HBCUs prepare you for so much more than what people thinking. Like, forget the education in the school. We prepare socially, economically, just individually. Just how are you going to move as a person? How are you going to move into society? Right. How you move on campus is how you going to move on society.
Absolutely.
HBCUs give you that freedom, that reign to move how you want to. PWIs kind of, but you would have to join a National Black Association to feel a part.
Join a golfing club.
You see what I'm saying? Versus you could literally just attend an HBCU.
Yeah.
And you are part of the whole campus.
You
know what I'm saying?
Bang.
There's diversity, but there's, community camaraderie. Camaraderie. I can't talk today. But the thing that I probably hate the most about an HBCU is its lack of self-innovation. This is what I mean.
Ooh.
This is what I mean by
that. That's a hand clap. That's a hand clap.
This is what I mean by that. For a lot of these schools, it took somebody putting a lot of money in their face saying, hey, we want to do this for the school. For us to do that, though, we want you to name it after us, or do this, or money has to go here, boom, 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 we got to change this little boom, all the other shit, right? Versus saying, you know what? I think we need to do this. Let's save up. Let's do it. Let's in-house, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And do it ourselves. Now,
facts.
That's easier said than done.
Right.
I get that.
Right.
But if a school like Howard, Hampton, these prestigious ass fucking schools, You know, and hell, I even give it. I even want to put Harvard up there because even though it's not HBCU, I say it like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Harvard alumni are loyal to that motherfucking school.
They were giving more money to Harvard, and Harvard was making more money than the government was making at one point. That shit is fucking crazy.
For one, it's a private institution. Am
Exactly.
I right? I mean, yeah. I think it's private.
I
think it is private. I think that's why they're able to do a lot of the shit that they do because they're private, and we're a government funded. I'm talking central. And we're a government funded.
Yes, it is.
It's a private institution.
Yes.
So they can do a lot of shit that we can't do. So, but I say that to where fuck all that private, government, anything.
Shaw's a private school.
Look,
Shaw used a private school.
So I look at it like this: if you condition your culture, your alumni, your students, and your staff and administration to just take pride in the motherfucking school, right?
Right.
You will sense a drastic change in the campus, in the community. Prime example, if a student lashes out, right, if they're saying that, you know, this school hasn't done anything, you know, I've had the worst experience, this is the terrible, you know what I'm saying, if they just go on and on, not necessarily bashing the school, but just bashing their experience, you have to take yourself, like, you got to take yourself out of it like, oh, she trying to talk down, or they trying to talk down on my school. What they're doing is just speaking on their experience. What you got to do is investigate why they feel that way.
Instead of coming at them,
you see what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Why do you feel that way? What happened, right? And then once you find out what happened, you have to then do the necessary actions, go to the necessary people to try to make things change.
That's one of my problems.
Nothing, and then this is what people got to understand. Nothing is going to be easy. You're not just going to talk to the chancellor and shit going to change overnight. It's going to take months, years, maybe decades.
Talk about it, brother. Talk about it.
Decades, some time, but for you to never start the conversation gives you no right to say anything about somebody else's experience, about how somebody feels.
It's like
about
this,
some
dog.
shit,
It's like this. I think that's one of my problems with HBCUs. Is like we get too emotional about the wrong things sometimes. We get too emotional. That's as a people.
Yeah.
As a collective, as a culture, we get too emotional about the wrong things. Somebody, for example, says they don't like being at their HBCU, right? Instead of you, because this is what a lot of alumni do, and this one thing alumni got to do. Alumni, sometimes they got to stop living in the past. I'm preaching to the choir too. I'm talking to myself as well. Alumni got to stop always living in the past. Sometimes you got to think about the future. Because my thing is, it's not you being affected. It's also your children and your children's children and their children's children are going to be affected. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when alumni see people in undergrad having issues, instead of you talking down on them like, oh, my HBCU was this, oh, we did this, or we did this. Just Jackson came and did
like,
this.
Yeah, during my day.
You know what I'm saying? Back in my day, Cool in the Gang was it. Like, listen,
alumni
you do all that.
Alumni like to do shit like that. You're like, back in my day, we had this, that, and the third. Okay, this
my
ain't
thing
back
is
in your day.
Back in your day, you wasn't getting the funds that we are getting right now.
And then also, back in the day, your campus was different from my campus.
Exactly.
Your campus ain't have Twitter, Facebook, GroupMe, Telegram, all these different social media shits. The campus is so fucking. The campus is more. The campus, as much integrated as it got in technology, has gotten divided and separated. You could mix and mingle with somebody on the whole other side of campus and never meet anybody who stay in your motherfucking building.
Literally.
You see what I'm saying?
It's like the song says, back in the day, you was a kid, but you're not a kid anymore.
You see what I'm saying? So that's another thing.
That's my thing. That's my issue.
That's another thing.
We're too emotional.
That's another thing with alumni, bro. It's like
alumni, stop. If a person says they don't like they don't like the school that you came from. I'm speaking to HBCU alumni. Instead of you bashing them and making it your business, why don't you try to see why they don't like it and see how you can help them?
Exactly.
We as a people have got to learn how to help each other. We're that's why we get so divided.
Exactly.
We get divided because we feel like helping somebody comes with a cost.
And
it don't come with a cost. Because when I look at a school like Harvard, whose tuition is $54K, and then I got an HBCU like mine that might be like, what, like $36, $37K, But it's like we can't help our own. But the only time we help each other is get a tailgate spot at homecoming. My nigga, some shit is wrong.
Yeah,
some shit is
and
wrong.
It's like, with every HBCU, you know, homecoming is the culture. Homecoming is the pinnacle of
Homecoming's
everything.
great, but that's not the solution.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? It's just like I say it's the same thing. I'm using the same analogy when it comes to just supporting the school and all, and just with students being interactive with the schools. I'm gonna use Central as an example. Right up before COVID happened, right? There was this thing going around, especially with Central students. Why is it that it takes an Aggie Eagle to get all the students to the games? Why is it that it takes why is it that it takes us playing somebody major for all the students to come?
I never understand.
We need to be
or it's going on TV.
You see what I'm saying? We should be playing fucking Bump Scum University out of Illinois, and it still need to be packed with fucking students out there because that's how hard we gotta go for the students. Look at it. But
niggas will use the excuse of, oh, I gotta work, I got class, I got homework. But nigga, you ain't got that shit when we playing A&T or when Grambling playing Southern and some shit like that.
And then I look at it like this too, right? At Duke, because let's be honest. Let's be honest. That's what Central trying to be. Central trying to be a black Duke, so they're trying to just take all this stuff. And I get it.
We're not bashing them.
Yeah, we're not.
We're just trying to help you.
We're trying to give you to understand. You don't got to go Duke way. Just keep doing Central way.
Stay black.
Duke trying to be like Central. Y'all better quit playing.
Oh shit.
So look. Check this out.
Let me get on that topic, boy.
So look, but check this out. But check this out. With Duke students, you gonna see a great handful of them blued out. They gonna paint their whole body blue. You ain't seeing nobody painting their body maroon and gray.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying you have to do that to show school spirit, but what I'm saying is with games and all this shit, everything's a fashion show at HBCUs. That's another thing that happens.
It's a part of the culture, though, but it's a part of the culture.
No, I mean, I get that. But what I'm saying is when it comes time for a game, a basketball game.
Or a football game.
Nobody gives a fuck what you got on. This is not the club. This is not gala
That's what
night.
I can never understand. Why the hell are y'all getting fresh to sit the fuck down? I will go to a game like this if we playing the rival.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't give a fuck. I'm sitting down.
So it's ridiculous.
But
it is so ridiculous.
But one thing I do like about HBCUs, I don't want to be so negative, but one thing I do love about HBCUs is we, at the end of the day, are a family. And put like this, for anybody that goes to HBCU, you even understand this. Even anybody that's choosing to or thinking about going to HBCU, I will say this to you. You have 4 years. 4 years or less or more. You got 4 years to literally not be a minority. You have 4 years to be normal. Whether you are a nerd, you a big person, whether you don't listen to Meg, whether you listen to Luther Vandross, whether you listen to the Temptations, whether you listen to Lee Williams, or whether you listen to the Mississippi Choir, it don't matter.
Choir.
You, at the end of the day, are part of a normal society where it is okay to be black. It's cool to be black. It's cool to be authentic. Look, it's cool to be an African American.
My shirt says black on everything.
Black on everything,
black
okay?
On everything.
Everything right. Black don't crack. That's a testament. If you don't believe me, look at your grandmother. Don't look at the person that
look at this black look at Aunt Viv just celebrated a birthday.
Right, 65.
Look at Mary J. Look at Mary J.
Fuck it. I'm gonna take it a step further. Look at Angela Bassett. I'm gonna take it a step further. HBCU alumni. Look at motherfucking Felicia Rashad.
Look at Felicia
take it even
Rashad.
more further.
Look at
Cicely Tyson. I was gonna go all the way.
And then I even say Taraji P. Even though she a little bit on the younger, but she Asian, but she look young.
Right.
She look like she did back in Baby Boy.
Right.
I'm serious.
Right. Like if you don't believe how cool HBCUs are, bro, like I even think about this. One thing I really wish, and people always ask me this all the time, they be like, yo, what era do you wish you would have went to HBCU? I really wish I would have went to the HBCUs in the 90s.
Nah, I wish I would have went to early 2000s.
Nah, dog. I wish I would have went in the 90s.
Listen to me.
In the 90s?
You understand what college was like in the early 2000s?
Dog, no. I get that. I get it. Wait, stop.
Listen. 90s, they didn't have flip phones, my nigga. They ain't have.
That's good.
But listen.
That means you can get away with a lot of shit.
No, but listen. But even still, even when they had flip phones, nigga, first of all, I had a flip phone. This was back in the day where you could type it. This was back in the day where you could type in the person number without having to put in the area code. You could literally type somebody number You can literally type somebody and speed dial too. I mean that shit still you got your favorites. That's that. But what I'm saying is,
see, I came up in the sidekick era, so I don't remember all that. I had the fancy shit.
See, look, you know how you got to put like 919-336. See, there was a time before it was all these numbers. Like you could literally put just the last was it 8, 7? What's the last numbers? 8. I think it's 8 numbers. 7.
I grew up in New York. I don't know all this shit y'all talking.
Okay. See, I can't count on the 7. Right, all you had to do put in the last 7 numbers, it'll call the person. Like,
right,
and then also this is when texting you had to hit the button 3 times. Like you won't get. Okay. This was before social media really hot like that. Social media was a place like you had to literally like, okay, I gotta go to my room, log onto the internet, and then go to the. You see what I'm saying? You can't just pull it up on your phone. So you feel me? You could be all the way in Chile. You could be all the way in Chile messing with somebody, come back and go here to bang. They'll never meet each other.
I get that, but see, this is where I'm coming from. I want to go because at the time, the HBCUs in the 90s, the culture of going to an HBCU was cool. I'm not saying it was in the 2000s, but it was even more cool. Why? Because when you looked on TV and you saw It's a Different World, which was literally filmed for HBCU students, and it was about HBCU students. Mm-hmm. When you watch Martin, when you was watching The Fresh Prince, when you was watching In Living Color, when you was watching Living Single, when you was watching Malcolm and Eddie, when you was watching all those type of shows, and they're wearing HBCU apparel. They're actually wearing the culture.
Now I feel like
there was a time when you literally went and it was cool to go Greek. It was cool to be listening to Kool in the Gang. It was cool when niggas actually, when they got out of class, they went outside.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the 2000s the reason why I say the 2000s because you have to add on that to all the additions minus the shit that what we got now. So in the 2000s,
there was Freaknik.
No, but hold on.
Shit.
Listen.
Fuck Miami spring break.
No, but I'm talking that Freaknik was not. Freaknik was where HBCU students went, but I'm talking about the actual campus in itself.
Right, I got you.
So
you know that started on Howard University. That started at A&T.
Within yeah. So within the 2000s, you still had all of that of what you just said.
Right.
You had a Walkman. You had an MP3 player. You had 106 in Park. You had
True. College Hill.
You had MTV. You had damn, what was them other shits like?
BET After Dark.
You know, it was so much shit. You see what I'm saying? You had shit like that, and this was all 2000. And now this was prior to all of the shit that we got now blowing up: Facebook, Twitter,
Instagram.
MySpace was there. The only social media that was probably active during that time was probably late MySpace, early Facebook, maybe a little baby Twitter at that time. But all I know is
nigga, Uvu was definitely popping.
Yeah, the video chat.
I remember that too.
But what I say all that to say is that people, just like how you said, was more immersed. We had the technology, but it wasn't a part of us yet.
Okay,
you see what I'm saying?
Okay, I see where you're coming from.
We could have a phone, but it wasn't to the point to where like we could set that bitch down, go down, boom, boom, and not have to worry because all we using it for was what? To call and text a motherfucker.
I guess for me, it's just like I'm saying. I hear what you're saying. You're looking at it from the more advanced side, the more tech side, it was more fun to do things side. Am I understanding?
Not necessarily like that. I'm looking at it more so as a disconnection because also in the 90s you have to look at it. You have to look at it as it was cool. It was on TV. People were wearing it. But it wasn't like a mainstream thing yet. Those things started. Those things you got to think about it. 90s kicked off what happened in the 2000s. You have to understand that.
Right, I get that.
90s kicked off what happened in the 2000s. So a lot of the stuff of what you said was created in the 90s that by the 2000s it had already married.
I get you.
Serenade. So by the time people went to colleges. See, you got to understand. People were in college. When those shits, some people were we grew up to then go to college and try to replicate that shit. So that's
Right.
why I'm saying in the 2000s it would have been a little bit more different, because you actually like it was so much more of a different time. It was just a different time frame of more open. You gotta look at the clothes. Look at the motherfucker with clothes, baggy shit.
Oh,
like
yeah,
motherfucker.
definitely.
You know what I mean? It had the triple XL shorts, some shit, some goddamn big as
I
hell.
remember when they was wearing Rockaware and
That
fucking
shit.
G Unit
Now,
apparel.
Rockaware was a great brand.
It was a tremendous brand.
Rockaware. And see, this is what.
But it didn't have shit on Sean John.
But see,
It didn't have shit on
but see, this,
FUBU.
but this is what us as black people gotta stop fucking doing, right? We value other shit like Gucci and Louis Vuitton, all this shit, but we bash a motherfucker like FUBU and
Legacy.
Legacy and with the Marlboro shoes, when them shits is Shaq shoes.
Nigga, what you know about Marlberries, nigga? What you know about Stephon Marlberries, nigga? What you know about that shit, nigga?
So
come on now.
But I say that to say we always doubt, because why we always sitting here trying. I'm about to pull my Umar Johnson real quick, because it's like,
shit now.
why do you need the white man's paperwork?
Why do you need white man's paperwork? Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
Shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson.
Give to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy right now. Get on your cash app, brothers and sisters. Get on your cash app.
Donations. Shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson.
Gift cards.
He's very
that nigga's
extreme.
black.
He's very
that
extreme.
nigga's black.
He's very extreme.
That nigga is black,
He's
black
very,
boy.
He's very extreme in what he does.
That nigga is 12 o'clock black, 3 a.m. black, and 2:30 black. That nigga's black, black boy.
Nigga, you activated my Siri on my. I don't know how you did that shit. That shit said, "I'm sorry." I was like, "Bro, what the fuck?" But we saying all that, so we juggling. But
let me ask you one last question before we wrap it up. Right?
Go ahead.
It's controversial. Okay.
And before we wrap it up, we got one more story we go into. Go ahead.
Okay. Controversial. Do you think other races,
He's a racials.
other races should be attending HBCUs?
I mean, we're attending PWIs, so
Wait, hold on, but remember. There was a time that we were not allowed to go to those schools.
And
There was a time we were not allowed to go into their fraternities. There was a time.
so, but there was a time, and do we have black people in there now?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so what I'm saying, this is what I mean. Now this is what I mean by that. I encourage anybody black to go to HBCU. I encourage that 1,000%.
That's the only places you need to go.
I encourage that 1,000, and I agree. But
Yeah. Now you on scholarship, my nigga.
But-
Hey, shit, I
but-
can't blame you.
this is a diverse world. You got to think about it.
Very
See,
true.
this is a diverse world. You got to think about it. See, black people don't understand that. Yeah, we're trying to get rid of white supremacy, but we're not trying to replace that with black supremacy. So a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people are trying to get that. We're fighting for equality, not trying to be better than another. We're fighting for equality. So yes, we had HBCUs, PWI separate. Yes, because there was a time when neither one of us were trying to be together. We're in a time now where we are together. Yes, this shit still goes on. Racism is still here. This shit ain't gone away. We understand that. But trying to sit and avoid this shit ain't gonna do shit either. So yeah, I get the idea. I feel as if we can get it to where as a community in the society, yes, we be diverse, and then all black people go to HBCUs, all white people go to PWIs. We can do that. I agree with that. I can see that. But at the same time, let's be realistic. This is a diverse world.
True.
This is a diverse ass world. We got black people in PWIs. So I mean, other races should be able to come into HBCUs. That's just me. I get the history behind it. I want HBCUs to be for blacks and primarily for blacks, but still be open for everybody. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? You can still go to a PWI, but just understand that they're not going to give you the same treatment as what an HBCU is going to give you. So like I said, I'm for the you. Whatever the fuck you want to do, go ahead and do it. I just want you to understand both sides of the situation.
Right.
If you go to a HBCU, you're gonna feel immersed. You're gonna feel a part of something greater.
Like I said, it's 4 years You're not a minority.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be a part of a majority. You're gonna learn to look at yourself in royalty and in higher positions and things like that. Now, if you go to PWI, you're gonna be able to, but you're gonna see white people. You're not gonna see your people. You got to go and literally get a part of a group to feel a part of something. Versus
that is very true.
Listen, I went to Central and wasn't a part of nothing. I tried to join SAB, but it was some bullshit. But I literally just attended Central, and I've done shit with athletics. I done shit in theater. I done did shit in business. I done did shit in mass comm. I done did shit all over.
Shout out to the mass comm department.
I done did shit all over the goddamn campus, and I'm not a part of shit. I'm not a part of a damn thing. I'm a part of me. That's it. So
no, you're a part of Showout Entertainment.
Yes, and the Juice Network.
That's right.
That's what the Juice Network. That's what it is. So, but we rambling on. We doing all that to say, and it's gonna tie into this last and final story that we got, bringing it back here home to Durham. Just about taking pride and mixing and mingling the communities, right? We're trying to advance forward,
right?
Durham is primarily a black city, right? Everybody know Durham is historically, this is where Black Wall Street was.
Right. Hayti
Center produced some of the best black businesses known in the area.
Right.
Of course, bought out, ran out, we had a black mayor, black sheriff, black lawyers, black doctors, black everything at one time. Right now, we got a white mayor. We still got a black sheriff. We got, it's more diverse than ever. We got multi-million-dollar condos getting built up out here. And now, right, this story just came out yesterday. It's in Durham. For those of you who live in Durham, those of you who drive down Fayetteville Street, go to Central from Central, you got to pass Coco Jazz, or you got to pass that little shopping center that's right there. You see the shit called Coco Jazz. And if you a student at Central, you done been there and party. I know what you talking about. They call it Coco's. That's what it is.
Facts.
So
we done did a party in there.
Yeah, we done did a party in there.
2 of them.
So that building, of course, has now been sold, is now bought by the city, and they're now finna put a franchised fast food joint there. And guess what fucking franchise they chose?
Let me see. I know it's not McDonald's.
It's definitely not McDonald's.
I know it's not Burger King.
Nope.
I know it's not Chick-fil-A.
No.
I know it's not Popeyes.
No, it's not Popeyes.
So I know it's not Sonic. Saying that means there can only be one thing. 1, 2, 3, boom. Checkmate, Checkers.
They're putting the Checkers right there.
Give me a cup of that one. That was smooth right there. Give me a...
They're putting the Checkers right there in the smack dab middle of Fayetteville Street, right? Now, this is a black now, Fayetteville Street is probably the blackest part of Durham you will ever see.
Yeah.
If you want history of Durham, just drive
as
up
old
and down.
people, as old people like to say, that's nigga corner. That's nigga corner.
Drive
around the whole street.
Drive up and down Fayetteville Street. You have black churches right there. You have black barbershops, black businesses, black homes, black. You got everything black goes down Fayetteville Street.
Crack spots.
So now with that, you're now about to put a white owned franchise in the smack dab middle of Fayetteville Street.
Smack right there.
Now I don't give a fuck if they put somebody black over the franchise and run it there. So it's just the fact that
on another episode of Pop Your Shit Show Out.
It's just the fact that there's been black people to try and get that space for years. And now all of a sudden you now gonna sell it out to Checkers?
Which, once again, and this is what we were talking about earlier, I told you this is another part of gentrification. It is not just happening in Durham,
it's happening
North
all
Carolina.
over.
It's happening all over the world, but this is damn sure happening all over the United States.
And I sent this picture in today, and on the same street, if I make that right, and right there in front of my high school, Hillside, Cook Road, they built this big ass motherfucking house down there. When I tell you,
Yeah, I saw that.
it scared the fuck out of me. It scared the fuck out of me because that street went untouched for years, and I was like, okay, we were good.
Now all of a sudden,
and then they put that big ass house right there, and I'm already gonna tell you it's already gonna cost about $250,000 when it opens. But it's gonna be about $250,000 when it opens. You know what I'm saying?
Gentrification. It's like the white man. The white man is really coming into our neighborhood and kicking us out.
But see, this is not, and they're not even, and that's not even what they're doing. This is what they're doing. They're putting us in the community, knowing that we're going to devalue the community.
Right.
They buy up that motherfucker and then kick us out.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Because they understand how we work, and we don't understand how we work. That's the problem. See, us as black people gotta understand. We adapt to situations, yet it's all fine and well. But see, white people are going to improve and better and go above and beyond the type of shit. They're not going to settle just for the basic.
Exactly. We got to stop being house niggas.
And so if they driving down the road and a pothole happens in the road, if they hit that pothole on Wednesday, Thursday they in the city hall meeting, Friday they bringing the trucks out there and they putting the pavement and they putting the cement down.
And Monday they just ride.
They cruising on over. Black people, the pothole happen for years and that shit don't happen. Motherfucker be like, hey man, watch that pothole over there, man. It's gonna fuck up your car. Everybody done drive through that shit. So it's like
you know what makes it crazy? This is how funny niggas are. Niggas be making the worst situations about our communities and ourselves the most historical and funniest shit. Right. They be like, hey yo, yo, watch out. Hey yo, you gonna pass the pot? What's the pot? Oh, that's a little pot that everybody be bumping into. You know what I'm saying? That's still a
right. You see what I'm saying?
24 years.
Everybody,
like
everything is so. But now we're saying that because we as black people got to stop settling. We as black people just got to stop. You know, we know that things can be better. We understand we complain and all the other shit. Now, sometimes we are getting in situations where we put into these housing places and they're intentionally treating us like shit. They put us
garbage.
Shit. They put us in the low down homes purposely and treat us like shit.
Yeah.
And know that, you know what I'm saying? They feel as if they think that's all that we got, because financially it is, because they up the pricing on every goddamn thing around. Because mind you, if house A and house B, I move into house B and it's the rent $500 a month. House A $500, but nobody's staying there, right? And I'm in house B. I've been paying my rent for years. It's $500. Nobody been paying house A. Motherfuckers come in, tear down house A, build it back up, but now instead of $500, now this shit costs $2,000.
And I mean, but like you said, you know what I'm saying? It's like they'll put us somewhere where they know that we're gonna devalue it. It's like if somebody gives you a couch, like okay, like look at this couch, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody gave you this couch right here, right? This shit got holes in it. This shit all fucked up and whatnot, right? You know what I'm saying? Nobody is gonna really take this. They're not really gonna take this couch. They're gonna fuck it up even more,
right?
But
exactly.
When this couch is brand new, it's leather. Oh, you're gonna be careful with this house. You gonna sit on it a little differently. You know what I'm saying? Right. You gonna make sure, like, you know, you don't. Yeah, hell, that's why some people in the back of the old days, they used to put plastic on their couches so nobody will fuck it up on purpose.
Oh yeah, that plastic on the couch.
But see, it's like crazy. These neighborhoods, like these white neighborhoods, they put plastic on it because they want to make sure it's protected. You gotta be careful. You can't just be riding through the neighborhood with your radio blast and shit like that. They're gonna call the cops on you. But you go where niggas stay at, niggas, they, you know what I'm saying? It's like they put us in the most fucked up situations. So niggas like, I mean, it's already fucked up. I mean, shit, how worse can it get?
Right.
It gets worse.
Exactly.
And then they kick us out, put us in another neighborhood that's even worse. And then we ride past it and they're like, yeah, I used to live in this shitty ass neighborhood. This neighborhood look like Neverland.
Exactly. And people just gotta understand, man, just take pride. And, you know, with this whole episode and with everything that we're saying in general, take pride in you. Take pride in where you from.
Yes.
Take pride in your school,
yes.
yourself, everything you stand
yes.
for.
Yes.
Take pride in that. No matter what the fuck it is. If you're extreme left, extreme right, in the middle, it doesn't matter.
Take pride.
Like, we live in such a you're right, I'm wrong world that you feel like you always got to argue with a motherfucker and try to prove them wrong. No.
Yes.
If Tariq is saying A, I'm saying B, okay, we may agree to disagree. He think A, I think B, we move the fuck on. Like, it's not the end of the fucking world.
Don't spend too much time on stupid shit.
But social media has conditioned us to worry about, because now we worrying about how many likes we get, how many comments, how many followers.
Retweets.
Because, you know what I'm saying? Now we worrying about how we look to the other motherfucker. Because, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that puts a lot of pressure on us to feel like, oh, we gotta be perfect. We gotta be perfect. Look at it like this. Every girl now trying to be like Lori Harvey. Why? Because she done got with.
They ain't ready for the next episode. They ain't ready. They ain't ready for that
Michael
one.
B. Jordan. Her daddy got them multi-million. She only 24, and she got them living her best life.
Meanwhile, she was just up there
with Future.
With Future.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to think about
she. I ride for my niggas, but a lot of my bitches have been telling her thousands of lies.
But see, girls be like, see, I want my 20s to be like that. I need to be living like Lori. First of all, you gotta look at who. First of all, you gotta look at who Lori Daddy is. She was born into that lifestyle. You're not born into that fucking lifestyle.
Hold on, wait. I see where you going. We gotta hold that for next week. We gotta hold it, cause if we do that, we're gonna be here. We're gonna be here longer. I get what you say, but you gotta hold that for next week. Right, boy. I was say he's about another episode of Talk Your Shit Show out, like you know what I'm saying.
I swear to God, I was just talking.
Oh, I got you.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in with Shaw with the Waves, man. Again, tune in Saturdays.
Saturdays we taking over.
Network right here. Saturdays
on Tuesdays. Talk It Out with Showout.
Yes, sir.
Shaw is going to be talking the real shit. He's going to be talking what you need. Make sure you follow us on social media platforms. Subscribe to us on everywhere. That is the Juice Network. Make sure you follow him at DJ Showout 919.
Make sure you follow him at Tariq
Wavy. Yes, it is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, we'll see you guys on the next Shaw with the Wave show. We are out.
Too many times he let